If you are in the DeFi space, then I'm sure you will agree that at the center of every single project must sit a set of great tokenomics. And we think at Zoin we've got exactly that. We've got something that's innovative and that is setting Zoin up to be a great project. But crucially, we see something else that is probably as equally as important. And we're calling it the Zoin Way. And in this video, I'm going to tell you all about it. So stick around and let's go. Oh, my dearest friend, you're here again. Come on in, join me around the Chalk Talk table to have a little chit chat. But before we get into that, let me say, as I always do, I'm not a financial advisor. This is absolutely not financial advice, so please do your own research. Now, before we get into talking specifically about the Zoin Way and what on earth that is, just to say that yesterday, Andrew, and by the way, that's Doors Monkey, our CEO, Andrew's now known as Andrew. Andrew had an AMA with Kevin White from PTC Token, and Kevin does an interesting series of interviews whereby he will score against certain criteria. He will score new projects. And so Zoin has been taken through that process through this AMA that was held yesterday. And I will link that AMA down below because I think it was a really interesting session. I did jump on right at the very end, but it was mostly Andrew talking through and answering Kevin's questions. We don't yet have our certificate. We don't know what score we've got, but definitely worth a listen. And I will be talking a little bit more about some of the things that Andrew said in just a minute, but definitely worth a look. Now, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned the need for projects to have innovative tokenomics. And if you saw my original video about Zoin, and if you didn't, I'll link it here, you can go watch it after. You will know that we do have innovation. We have the ability to adjust, to vary the way that the taxes are spent in Zoin. And yesterday in the AMA, Andrew announced that we are already taking advantage of this innovation. And although originally when the project launched only last week, there was 1% of the taxes being fed into the liquidity pool, that as of yesterday has changed to 5%. 5% is now building that liquidity pool because of course, as a new project, we need to have that cushion, we need to grow that cushion and to bolster that pool. So that is what has now happened. So it's already starting, but I do want to make it very clear. The tax that was going to the treasury is now going to liquidity pools. So holders are still receiving the full allocation of reflections as they originally were. And we are all loving our reflections. Okay, but let's talk about the Zoin Way and what on earth I'm talking about. Before we do that, just imagine this. I know many of you will have jobs, corporate jobs in the real world. I know I have until recently. So imagine this. Imagine you went into any kind of meeting, a boardroom, and perhaps sat in the corner is like this shadowy figure that you never really see. And then somebody else around the table suddenly says, "Hey guys, look at this," and holds up a picture of a really scantily clad woman, and everybody falls about laughing. And then somebody else asks a question and they're kind of insulted because it's a bit of a basic question and they should know better, and everybody makes fun of them. And then somebody else starts swearing, and well, you kind of get the picture. And, you know, I've been very open about this on several of my videos. I love being in this space, but what drives me absolutely crazy is the fact that this space, crypto, is supposed to be so forward thinking. You know, we are the future. We are the future of finance. This is how things are going to move in the future. And yet, the way we do business I would say takes us back at least 60 years. We know that crypto is the Wild West because of the lack of regulation, of course. But how many people in the crypto space take absolute advantage of that and just act in any way, shape or form they think is okay, when actually it's not? Because my experience of working in a corporate environment and actually working with a lot of different teams is that the only way to do business and be successful is to have a high-performing team. And there are certain things that have to happen to be part of a high-performing team. And all of those things that I talked about, shadowy figures that you never see, people being sexist or racist or whatever it is, that's no way to behave. And that is no way to do business. And I don't know about you, but I'm here to make money. But I can't do it by myself. We have to work as a team, as a community, whatever it might be. We have to work together in order to make money. And the Zoin Way is looking to fix that. And in the Zoin team, I have found like-minded souls. And together we have created something called the Zoin Way. Now, I'm just going to read you a little bit from the stuff that we have written. This is stuff that when you join Discord, you will have to agree to anyway. So you will read this. I'm not going to read it all, but this gives you a flavor of where we're going with it. So let's dive in. Zoin will break the DeFi mold by striving to do things differently. In fact, Zoin will not only break the mold, but will create the new molds that will set the benchmark for DeFi projects in the future. Others will seek to do things the Zoin Way. Building on our innovative tokenomics, we will establish and nurture a strong community that will be rooted in a number of clearly defined Zoin values. By embracing our innovative tokenomics and fostering a culture of honesty, respect, and professionalism, Zoin will strive to create, maintain, and build a sustainable, inclusive, and profitable ecosystem for all investors. And we have then gone on to define, I guess, like a values framework. And again, I'm not going to read it through. You can have a look at that yourself. And, you know, there's quite a bit of narrative there. But basically, we are looking at honesty and transparency, respect and inclusivity, professionalism, and contribution and collaboration. Because we feel that in order to move on in this space, in order to be successful, these values have to be at the center of what we do in Zoin. And this is where we are seeking to make a difference, because you will go into many Discord servers and, you know, at the beginning of your existence within that server, you will probably sign up to community guidelines. And in effect, this is exactly what we have in the narrative that we've written that is now called the Zoin Way. But the crucial difference that will be with Zoin is that this framework is not just going to sit as community guidelines in Discord. Yes, we will hold ourselves as a team and the community to these guidelines, but we as a team and as a community will have these at the heart of everything that we do, whether it's within Discord or outside of Discord. Now, I'm sure you're sat there saying, well, that's all very well, but it's just words on a page. And I completely agree in terms of, you know, it's very easy to write these words, but what then happens to them? Well, this is absolutely where we know you are going to see a difference with Zoin, because we are going to live and breathe these values in everything that we do. And as an example, Andrew started doing exactly that in yesterday's AMA. So just to mention, I think 3 things that came about in yesterday's AMA that I think really illustrate that we're very serious about this stuff. So the first one, Andrew was very clear, honest, transparent, about how he first became involved in Zoin and how that has led to him becoming CEO. Again, I'm not going to repeat it. If you're interested, then please go and do listen to that AMA. The second one, in the very first minutes of the launch of Zoin, it was clear that there was a massive buy. There was a whale in our midst. And unfortunately, there's since been a lot of rumours about that whale, who it might be, and wasn't it suspicious that the whale immediately split up all of these thousands of Zoin tokens into 10 or 11 different wallets? Obviously something very dodgy going on. Well, yesterday Andrew revealed that actually he was that whale. He had been incredibly fortunate at launch to spend 3 BNB and get 167,000 Zoin tokens. And when he got them, he knows what it looks like when you have a massive wallet, and people, it sends fear through people. And so he immediately slightly panicked, I think, and split them into, I think, 11 different wallets. But what he's now said as CEO, he has now published his wallet address. He's brought all of those tokens back together so that the community can watch his wallet. He has undertaken not to sell any Zoin for at least 2 months. And even after that, he, of course, will be a responsible whale because he's the CEO and he doesn't want to do any damage to the project. But also, he has gifted, donated, promised 50,000 tokens from his personal wallet to go towards building the community, running competitions, and all of that. So that all came out yesterday, which was incredible and really reassuring to know going forward. And the other thing I wanted to mention is about our team. So you've already perhaps seen Andrew, you've heard Andrew if you've seen the AMA, but also we did a live AMA last week. We have Andrew as CEO, we have myself as CMO, and we also have Jamie, who is the Chief Operating Officer. And Andrew also said yesterday that we have internally docs to each other as a team, and I can confirm that I have now seen the formal identification of both Andrew and Jamie, and they've seen mine. So we have that trust between ourselves as a team. But also you are going to be seeing the three of us appear on lives. You know, you're going to see our faces, you're going to get to know us as people, because that is important to us. If we're saying trust us, trust Zoin, the project, then it's only right and proper that you get to know us a little bit better. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of us in the future. So in defining the Zoin way, we're setting the scene for how this project is going to work, how it's going to be managed. You know, we've got strong foundations there of professional values that we are going to live and breathe, and we expect our community to do so too. So if that's what you also crave, if you're a little bit fed up in some discords when all sorts of rubbish goes on, we're not going to have that in Zoin. But be clear, please be clear. You know, I've sometimes called this behavior out in other discords, and I've been then accused of being boring, I'm stealing fun, I'm a Karen, and all of that, and much worse. But let's be clear, we want to have a great time in Zoin. You know, being professional and holding these values does not mean that you cannot have fun and you cannot have great humour and you know, we want the Discord to be a place where people want to come. We want to work hard though as well as play hard, and the two do not have to be mutually exclusive. We can do all of that but still respect each other and be professional. And I think, you know, of everything, if you are looking for a professional environment, because it can be so lacking in crypto and especially the DeFi space, if you're craving that professional environment, that's what we are striving to give, to provide through Zoin tokens. So please do come and join us. And also we've got some great things happening. We've got, as of today, a daily buy competition. We've got an invite competition. There's lots of Zoin up for grabs, so come on in. And by the way, we have a brand new Discord as of yesterday. So I will link that below. Please do make sure that you find us through that new link and come and join us and just see what we're all about, and you will be very welcome there. So I'll see you there. Oh God, I've done it again. I said I was going to do a little short video and I end up going on forever. But you know what? This stuff excites me. It's, it's in effect culture change. And I know from my professional experience, I know how important culture is. The way we do things around here is everything to making things work or not. And that's why I'm excited, because I really, really think working with Andrew and Jamie and myself as a team, like-minded people who all want to bring about that change. I'm so excited about it. I'm passionate about it. And this is I've always felt that this was my role in this space. I was never going to be a crypto genius. I'm not a developer, but I know what makes things work. And that's where my passion is. So I just hope you can join us and come along for the journey, because I think it's going to be a great one. Oh, but I am going to leave it there. I will say, as I always do, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, then please do consider subscribing, because it all helps to push out these videos to more people, as does a cheeky like. So please do hit that button down below if you've enjoyed this video. But I'm going to leave it for there. And I'm going to say, as I always do, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the time that you spend. But for now, cheers.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.